In this Vestige video, we'll demonstrate 4 rounds of gameplay, featuring 2 players taking 4 turns each, a total of 8 turns. We're skipping setup and won't be starting at the beginning of the game. Instead, this session picks up after a few rounds, giving you a clear sense of the core mechanics in action. Each turn includes 3 primary actions and optional bonus actions, depending on the situation. Let's dive in. Greene starts by moving to reveal 2 regions, the Smuggler's Lair and the Archives. Note that the Smuggler's Lair is revealed first and the Archives is revealed second, based on the direction of movement and when they were passed. Next, Greene uses the Visit action to interact with the Smuggler's Lair. She selects Hong of the Codex. This gains her 2 leverage. This smuggler reduces the cost of developing future augmentations when she activates it. Lastly, Greene activates her network, assigning 1 influence to the smuggler and gaining 2 cunning. Having completed her 3 main actions, Greene ends her turn. Purple moves to reveal the Lawmaker Ridge, then decides to visit the Chop Shop instead. He uses 1 concentration to build a Chop Bot, choosing Dex from the market and gaining 2 leverage. Next, he activates Dex. Thanks to another bot's Always Active ability, he's able to use Potential instead of Influence to do this. This trick works as long as the bot has 2 influence on it, which it does. It's a passive ability. Greene notices an available augmentation job near the garage. She moves adjacent and claims the face-up card Twitcher, assigning it to her contact and tucking it underneath. She does so that the card shows the location she'll need to be at in order to develop this augmentation and finish the job. Note that the contact cards show the types of jobs they can perform in the upper right corner. To prepare, she activates her bot, gaining 1 might. She decides to skip her visit action and rest instead, upgrading one of her potential blocks to expand her influence pool. Purple moves near Lawmaker Ridge and uses the visit action to recruit a Lawmaker into his network, spending 2 ambition. He then activates this Lawmaker and gains 2 ambition back. Since this contact only has 1 influence on it, its special ability remains unavailable for now, as it requires 2. Greene moves to reveal an observatory and now meets the adjacency requirement to begin developing her augmentation. She rolls the outcome die, which allows her to upgrade 1 power. She chooses to upgrade 1 influence to concentration, although she could have upgraded potential to influence. It was her choice. She then uses another bonus action to convert 1 might and 1 cunning into 1 ingenuity. Then she repeats this process, producing 2 ingenuity in total. She uses these to install the Twitcher augmentation onto her contact, gaining 5 leverage, plus 1 bonus leverage from Rex, her active chop bot, who meets the requirement for his passive ability. Greene then visits the observatory, using 3 cunning to upgrade her remaining potential blocks to influence. She can do this as many times as she can afford it. Purple moves to reveal the Oasis and Scrapyard regions. He activates his Lawmaker, gaining 2 ambition, and then uses its optional ability to return 2 influence back into his pool, gaining 1 concentration for doing so. As you can see, it takes 2 activations to set this ability up, unless Purple can find other ways to add influence to this contact in future turns. He also gains 2 might from visiting the Scrapyard. However, he also opts to take a bonus action here, spending that concentration to claim control of the region. This earns him 2 leverage. It causes Purple to cross a trigger point on the scoring track also. When a player passes one of these trigger points or lands on it, they draw a Subversion card. Subversion cards represent the forces that be noticing your activities and attempting to subdue them. Mechanically, they present a mandatory quest with a loss of leverage or other detriment if they're not completed by the end of the game. In this case, Purple reads this card and keeps it face down in his tableau as secret information until it's completed. They would also reveal the endgame condition card. In Vestige, when 2 endgame conditions have been met, the next round becomes the final round. In this case, this condition is placed face up at its trigger point, becoming one of the potentially 5 game conditions that could contribute to triggering the end of the game. Greene moves and activates Rex, her chop bot, gaining 1 might. She then visits the archives, gaining 2 ambition. As a bonus action, she uses 1 concentration to gain control of this region, moving her past the trigger point on the scoring track. She then takes the last subversion card, places it face down in her tableau. Purple activates his Lawmaker, gaining him 2 ambition, which he's about to use. He meets the requirements of his subversion quest: adjacency, 4 ambition, and a smuggler in his network. This card now counts toward mastery for endgame scoring. Finally, Purple visits the Oasis, using that ambition to free up influence blocks from his network, preparing for future turns. We hope this walkthrough gives you a better understanding of the game's mechanics and how strategic planning and resource management shape the gameplay. If you're still curious about specific aspects of gameplay, or you want to see a more detailed full-length game, check out our other videos linked in the description below.